Let no man drag you low enough to hate them. Malcolm X. The great thing in life is not to ensure we never fall, but to ensure we never fail to get up when we have fallen. Oscar Wilde. There's a point to this. What's the other one? Winston Churchill. You'll never reach your destination if you stop, throw stones to every dog that barks. And the other one is, to be a success in life, you must argue with every idiot on the internet. Said nobody ever. Man, do you know what Joe Rogan says? YouTube are the sewers. Man, every time I turn my phone on, he's yapping onto him, and he's yapping onto him, and he's a nonce, and he's a grass, and he's a rapist, and he's ripped charities off, and he's into rent boys, and it's so bizarre, and it's sad that the 21st century, anybody can pipe up and say anything, and the masses of sheep will just go, is he really? Didn't know that. Oh, I'm going to unfollow him. I'm not buying his books again. Oh, God. It's, do you know something? There's probably only about 5 or 6 channels I watch on here. Because I try to keep out of people's nonsense. I see people getting involved with stuff that doesn't concern them. And then when they're exposed by the other gang, they're sitting there crying and and it's like, what do you expect? It's like, never underestimate the predictability of stupidity. Oh man, it's staggering. But do you know what? I mean, I'm getting a bit more prolific on this YouTube channel now. Obviously, I've got my anxiety sorted. But I keep my own court, and there's only a handful of channels I watch. Sean Atwood's a good friend of mine. I work with him on a personal level, and I've had dealings with Sean now for well over 2 years, and got nothing but nice things to say about the guy. If I need any advice, he's the first person I'll ring. I trust him implicitly, and everything he's ever said, he delivers. But you should see the things that get said about him online. I wouldn't know where to begin. Daddy Gay, for instance. Listen, that was a joke bad in taste, and Sean's even said, you know what, come out and apologise. Listen, I make a total scenic Tuesday myself every single weekend. I want to have had a drink, but luckily for me, I'm not as high profile as Sean Atwood. So I haven't got people watching me morning, noon and night and making videos and trying to ruin me and ringing schools and all this kind of thing. But Sean, listen, the guy is the opposite to gay, let me assure you. I've been out for meals with Sean. I've sat in pubs in London with him. And, it doesn't make a difference whether he was gay. There's a lot of homophobia I'm watching these days as well. Like it's some kind of thing to be, it's like something to hold against someone. He's not gay, but if he was, who gives a shit? But yeah, Sean's an absolute diamond, and I watch his channel. My close friend, who really to me is like family, is Paul Venice. There's no more layers I can meet in life with a person yet to be unfolded than I have with Paul Venice. I trust him implicitly. I've got his back. He trusts me. And, all the people who've made the lies up and the bullshit, and I'm getting sued, which I'm not because I've been dismissed from several times. If anyone doubts what I'm saying, please message me, Jamie Boyle Off on Facebook or at Jamie Boyle 10 on Twitter, and I will send you several court documents. But, Paul has stood by me, along with Neil Booth, who was obviously Duffy's best mate, and seen all the bullshit. And I watch Paul. I've done a lot of books in the true crime genre, and there've been kind of people not very nice on a lot of them. You know, your Roy Shaws, your Dominic Neguses, your Lee Duffys, your Paul Sykes, one or two others I don't really want to mention. But you get the picture. And Paul Venice is probably, well, he is probably the scariest I've ever met, if he wanted to be that way. But Paul has a brain, and you know, rather than be a Neanderthal who's just discovered fire and go level and use them, which obviously we all know he was a British European world champion. God, yeah, scary thought rolling around the floor with Paul Venice. But he'd rather say to you, do you know what, just go away. Or as he always says to me, not to me, but he always says, it steals my peace, it steals my peace. And so he would rather have an educated, amicable, civil discussion with you. And I watch his channel because even though, like, I could count him on one hand, he's in one of them people for who I love dearly and who's the closest to me. I can still learn something from him, even though I'm probably like 6 years older from him. So Paul, massive fan of Paul Venice's channel. Fergal, big Fergal. I discovered him probably about 5-6 months ago, and every single time there's a video on of his, I watch it, and he carries himself really good. I don't know whether he is educated, but he comes across as kind of having half a brain. You know, you could have a civil discussion with him, and probably not. Obviously, he's a boxer as well, big guy. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Fergal's. Jack the Ripper tours, Richard Jones. Obviously, I'm writing a book on Jack the Ripper, and I'm obsessed with it. Have been since I was about 10. That's how much of a strange kid I was. I'm still the same now. I'm still a bit odd at 41. And Richard Jones, I met a lot of people in the last year. Oh, wow. I mean, I got a text off Martin O'Neill last night, and I was like, fucking hell, that's Martin O'Neill. I nearly pissed myself. I'm not so bothered about the boxers or other footballers, but if it's Celtic or anything to do with Scotland, or if I ever met Morrissey or Chris Rea, I would faint. But sometimes I have to like pinch myself sometimes. But do you know what? There's a saying in life: never meet your heroes, and it's quite sadly a lot of that is true. You know, I've met some people that I've thought, I wish I'd fucking never met you. But yeah, Androin. I'm a big fan of Androin. Don't know him personally. Probably started watching her stuff about 6-7 months ago, and she's very opinionated. But what I like about Anne is she doesn't just go blah 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 blah. He's a dickhead. She'll have an educated discussion, and I watch every single thing. I've got them like notifications, you know, if anyone comes up, and I'll always listen to her. Who else is there? Jimmy O, my friend Jimmy O, the Jimmy O Show, kind of a blacklisted comedian from Wigan. I've been on his podcast a few times. Me and Jimmy have dance-offs for who has the worst hairstyle. Jimmy's been running away for years, but obviously I'm coming back now. I've got to get past this Hannibal Lecter. Well, hello, Clarice. You will tell me if those lambs stop screaming now, won't you? I've got to get past this stage, and then I'll go into the Joker stroke Arthur Fleck, Joaquin Phoenix look, like I had the start of this year. But do you know what? Apart from that, I think everyone's channel is, you know, it's like you wouldn't let bastards move into your house. And I just, you know, I've seen the videos of me, which I never ever get involved. If anyone's calling me a fat lesbian, which that one is actually true, or I'm into rent boys, or I'm a cross dresser, or I just ignore it. I just think, you know what, I've had far worse than that, and you know, it's like if you don't react, because if you do react, like if anyone's seen Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's a guy with a beard who's always really angry, and he's firing guns and he's running about shouting he wants to kill Bugs Bunny. So if I react to someone making up obscene, utter bullshit out of me, which I've been dismissed from several court cases, then them people, you're giving them oxygen. So what I'll do is I'll just go, who fucking cares? I'm busy. Now, this might come across a bit narcissistic, but it's a fact. Now, I done from March the 7th, 2007 to that very same week, March 2017, March the 7th, that was my first book, to March this year, 2021. Now, I did 19 books to the very, very same week. That's just a fact. Anyone can Google that. 19 books. 9 of them were Amazon bestsellers. And how I did that, I mean, an author said to me, you actually want to check that up. Maybe some kind of record. But how I did that was working 7 days a week, which that's how I got all these anxiety tics, all that kind of crap, which I'm now cured. I started taking steroids about 3 weeks ago. Not steroids like that, but steroids to help me relax and make me breathe more, open my airways and all this kind of thing. Because I had my nose rebuilt about 7 years ago from boxing, getting punched in the face for many years because I used to box with my face. But I basically done 19 books in 4 years to the week. And I just put a status on Twitter. The status what I'd start the video off with. If you want to be a success in life, argue with stupid people on the internet, because, wow, I mean, it's like arguing with a pigeon playing chess. You'll beat him. He'll shit all over the board. He'll walk all over the pieces. He won't listen to any reason. And when he's going away, he'll shit on you from above. And then he'll fly off saying he's won. So, it's like these people that, it's, what that's saying? Something like, never argue with an idiot, because you'll go down to their level and they'll beat you on experience. So, if people are doing videos and saying this and that, who fucking cares? My path to, I don't know, greatness or whatever, my path to 30 books, 40 books, 50 books, 100 books is not because of Tom 118 goes, oh, you fucking lesbian, oh, your books are shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like James English, I remember talking to him a couple of years back, and he said, James gets trolled. James, I've been in his company, smells nice, good looking guy, suntan, perfect teeth, dated stars, handsome guy, suntan. So he gets trolled. So if this ex-footballer, ex-model is getting trolled, what hope is there for any of us? For little knobheads with Hannibal Lecter haircuts like myself? We're not that special. And, if you go into any kind of limelight and you put yourself on the fence, then you're there to be shot at. And I've only realised that this year. I only take a backward step back now, and I think, right, my mental health is more important. I'll delete Facebook for a week because the world can wait, And years ago, when I was just talking to everyone, and he was abusing me, and he was that 19-year-old who's 10 stone was wanting to fight with me. That old age pensioner was messaging me wanting to fight with me. I didn't know how to take it. So where now I just think, James English said James, to quote James English, he said to me, I just think, get the fuck away to go, fuck off, man. And he just said they're like mad losers. Do you know what I mean? And I take that, and I thought, I've always kept that in my head. And I know James has said, you know what, I'm going to be the #1 podcaster. And in my head, I'm, maybe I'm delusional. but my work rate is second to none in Great Britain. Defy anyone who's more prolific and busier than myself for writing books and being involved with things. So I don't need to, I don't need someone's acceptance who's got 249 YouTube subscribers and he's not even monetized. So he's doing all this effort and hard work. He's not even receiving a penny. So if you don't like me, who gives a fuck? I don't care. So I've gotten over that. But do you know what? The YouTube, to quote Joe Rogan, it is an absolute sewers. I would advise anyone who is wanting to kind of get involved with YouTube or be a podcaster or something like that. Don't read the comments. I watched Russell Brand, and he said, he gets it really bad. I was watching a video last night actually, and he's been clean for 19 years yesterday. Crack, cocaine, heroin. Listen, we all have skeletons in our closets. So have I. I've been to prison when I was young, when I was a teenager. I've been lots of different prisons, drunk and disorderlies, fighting. Have I done the drugs and all this kind of thing years ago? But now I'm a fat, boring, middle-aged man. But when I was 19-year-old, you can Google me for being in papers and stupid stuff. But I'm not going to let that affect the rest of my life. And, there's a saying in the Bible, which is something like, let him who is without sin cast the first stone. Judge not, and ye be not judged. John 1:1. So, listen, none of us are perfect, apart from my wife, who she actually is perfect, and it's like being married to Jesus. But other than that, I've never met anyone, and it's such a people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And when you see the comments and that, and it's like, I'm surprised you're now being trolled because you started on him, and just think, fuck you, leave me be, leave me alone. I'm not doing harm to anyone. There's you'd always see people's videos getting taken down for defamation, and then they'll cry and go, oh, he's a grafter. Well, hang on a minute. How about not slagging someone's good name off in the first place? How about not saying he rips charities off and this, that, and the other? What are people supposed to do? Leave it on and go, oh yeah. This channel is don't do any kind of nastiness. I'm not involved in any nastiness, and that's why I like the people who I mentioned earlier. Your Paul Venices, your Androids, your Fergals, Making Gains, your Sean Atwoods, Jimmy O. There's probably one or two that I've probably forgot, and please forgive me. But it's a horrible, nasty world, and there's some really evil, vindictive, wicked bastards in the world. But it's life, and to make it in this game, in the podcast world, or being an author, or in the public spotlight, you have to have skin like a rhino's, and I've only got it this year. I really have, but yeah. Listen, if there's anything in this that I've said, and feel free to message me, and I can send you court documents. I'm sure there'll be a few geriatrics on next week talking about me, and I can't stop it. But what I can do is not watch it, and what I can do is kill them with success. So when my books was Amazon bestsellers and it's all that, that's my fuck you, and there's people there sitting on the channels and they've just got nothing, spouting poison, pure venom, but then they'll pretend and they'll go, oh, but we're Christians and we're not doing this and we're not doing that. People can see right through you. Bullies, absolute bullies, and I often enjoy anyone mentions my name. I'll have them down for defamation. Why do you need to put people down to make yourself feel better? I don't get it. But thanks for listening to me, guys. This video is only going to be 5 minutes, and I've just hit 20 minutes. So One more thing I will say is lots of my books, like several, like most of them, support registered charities. Now, there's been people said that haven't. Now, in my books, at the front of them, there's a reference, and there can be checked. Anything that I've ever said can be checked up. I support the Bradley Lowry Foundation, Frankie Lee Boo Foundation. I have supported Scope in the past. I have supported Sown Seeds Ministries. I have supported Middlesbrough Cancer Ward. A little boy with no legs that pays every month. Who else is there? Yeah, I mean Gary Shaw's book, who I done, Roy Shaw's son. He the full lot of his book, every penny he just gives to Charles Bronson. So my books have raised several thousands of pounds. That's not hearsay, that's a fact. And anyone who wants to contact any of them names I've said, please feel free to do so. My latest one, which come out just under 2 weeks ago, that supports 4 registered charities: the Ian Watson Charitable Fund, the Celtic Foundation, the Sir Bobby Robson Foundation, and the Alan Shearer Foundation. So I've spoken to Alan Shearer and I've got all the references and that, and they will support them forever. So if I'm lying, then I've just dropped a clanger, and any of the trolls out there, feel free to message them and prove that I don't support them on a regular monthly basis. So you're never going to please anyone, and people will always have opinions, but anyone on YouTube, just don't get involved with anyone's shit. He's a nonce, he's a grass, he's this, that, complete waste of time. It's not going to make you any money. It's not going to help you gain your rep and build you up, unless you are a podcaster. And in that case, drama will get you the subscribers and it will get you the views. But for someone like myself who doesn't want to be involved in any drama and just wants to write books and have a peaceful, boring life, because I'm a fat middle-aged man, then yeah. But I couldn't for the life of me do Sean Atwood's job. I love Sean, great guy, but wow, I couldn't for the life of me. But then saying that, if there's anyone born to do that job, it's Sean Atwood, because he's into his spiritualism and yoga, and he'll sit with his hands on his knees and and he's and good for him. James English deals with it on pretty good as well. Because a lot of people attack him and they'll go, and he'll maybe do something once and he'll say, "Away with your pish and get to fuck," and all this. And good luck to him. I've took a lot from Sean and James for my personal how to kind of battle the trolls, because Malcolm X, he's a quote as well: if you've got no haters, you've got no success. Jealousy and envy is a mixed emotion, and it's there's another one line I was going to come out with as well, is if you have no success, so you've got no haters, you have no success, because you've got to earn jealousy. Frank Bruno, perfect example, fought Tim Witherspoon, fought Mike Tyson, fought Lennox Lewis, and at the 4th time of having a world title fight against Oliver McCall, he won, and he was the nation's favourite, and we all love Frank because he was a loser and he was an underdog, and he's seen his day and he come back. Where how many people hate Floyd Mayweather? Absolutely cannot stand him, and he was never beat. And but I tell you what, he was bloody good at what he done, and maybe arguably the greatest fighter to ever lace a pair of gloves on. But it doesn't tick everyone's box, shotting money about and burning money and this. And I get it totally, but the guy's a huge success. and that's it's prime example of our human behaviour. My hero, Morrissey, that guy. I always get struggles with left to right when I'm back to front, because I normally do that, don't I, when I'm talking about Alan Thompson. But he written a song, and it was called "We Hate It When Our Friends Become Successful." There's a saying which is something like, your greatest fan is a stranger, your biggest hater is someone you know. And people, Sean Atwood said to me a couple of years ago, he said, Jamie, he said, people will just struggle. They can't cope. So when I've been in the middle of a paper like 15 times in 4.5 years, I get why people go, I fucking can't stand him. Fucking fat knobhead. When in actual fact, I'm just the same as Trevor the Builder or Lisa the hairdresser. Do you know what I mean? I just write books and make documentaries, and I'm just, I don't know, kind of, I'm a busy bee, and that's what keeps me happy. Because when I stop working 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, I'll struggle for mental health myself. And that's what James English said to me. He said, you know what? When I stop, that's when I'll start thinking about drinking and the drugs and the women and all this. So I keep busy. And that's why you'll see book after book after book after book from me. Because when I sit and think about it and go, oh no, I can't believe he hates me and all that, that's when I'll have the dark moments and the dark clouds and my black dog, as I call it. And yeah, I've been ravaged with anxiety. Not anxiety, but that as well. But over the years, I've been on tablets. I probably would have knocked a horse out. Oh, wow, like mega down to the point of like seeing things and hearing voices and all that, and oh god, scary. And then when I get back to normal, I think, fucking hell, that was scary. Do you know? But I'm always aware of it now, and that's why I'll never indulge with anyone on here. And first sign, someone just block. Haven't got time, mate. I'm busy. I'm writing 4 books at the minute. I have not got time to argue with Borough John 118, who's got 1 subscriber, telling me I'm an arsehole, which I already knew. So I haven't got the time. And I've got my path is already paved, and I've already got a map to what I'm going to do in life. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't do anything, but I'm going to give it a bloody good go. So when I see the comments, I just block, just delete. Don't even respond. I don't even want the last word. I'm just like, mate, I'm fucking busy. Leave me alone. And that's how I am. But massive thank you to everyone who subscribes to our channel. And to Fergal, Androin, Sean Atwood, Jimmy O, Paul Venice, Richard Jones, Jack the Ripper Tours. I watch every single thing on your channel, like everything. The start of this year, you were like literally my third wheel in my marriage. I'd be in bed and the wife would be like, aren't you sick of watching Jack the Ripper? Yes, he killed 5 people. It was over 10 weeks. It was the Autumn of Terror. But I'm obsessed with it because I'm an addict in life. I was an addict when I was a young footballer, a young boxer, when I was a drug addict, I'm addicted to everything. I give up drinking for 18 weeks a couple of years back, and I got addicted to prescription drugs, painkillers. I give up drinking, and I got addicted to Brific 55. Seriously, I was having like 8 in one night, and then I got addicted to Red Bulls because it's the rush and the sugar. And seriously, I'll get addicted to Blue Smarties. I'm only thankful crystal meth has never hit this country. Addicted to Palmos. Never underestimate the withdrawal symptoms a Palmo user has over crystal meth users. The Palmos are really addictive. How do you think I went from a flyweight to I think I'm actually a heavyweight now. I'm over 14.4. but don't tell anyone. But yeah, seriously, and that's what I do now. My new addictions are saying prayers on a morning and on a night, run a machine every single night and work. So they're my addictions, and being around good people, not gossiping, not being nasty about anyone, and just basically writing as many books to the point where I'm going to put the Amazon rainforest in danger. That's my plan. I want to get more haters. I want my own stalker. I want to be more hated. Noel Gallagher had a couple of stalkers, but he said, I think he had 3, and he said, I want 4 stalkers. Because that's when you've made it in life. Often people will say to me, I fucking hate your books and you're a knobhead and I can't wait until I'll buy your book out the bargain bin. Well, do you know what? If anyone knows about the book business, when you get to the point when your books are in the bargain bin in Morrison's or the $1.99, that's when you've made it. Because have you ever seen, like, in these bookshops when it used to be $18.99, but now it's $2.99, and you think, where's the profit in that? It's because $250,000 were printed, and it's probably cost them, because you buy in bulk, so it gets cheaper. So it's probably cost them something like 80 pence to make a book. So when you see it for $1.99 or something, and you take the tax and the VAT, the profit margin in that is probably only 50-60 pence. But it doesn't matter, because we've just printed 250,000 of them, and them bookshops, they're in London, Cambridge, Glasgow, all the branches. So that's how the book world goes. So anyone who wants to insult me next and say your books are for the bargain bin, that's actually a compliment. But big thank you, guys. And as I said, if there's anyone who hears any silly nonsense about me, please message me. I will personally send you several court documents which proves I'm not any court. I'm not answering to anyone other than my wife, and she's very scary, especially when I'm hungover. She might only be 5 foot and a little Yorkshire woman, but it's like, if someone said to me, get outside now, I'd go, right. When the wife says to me, what the fuck have you been doing? I'm like, I actually really, I'm scared. And I get this feeling in my body where I go, and I think, what's she accusing me? What's she done? And I'm like, leave me alone. But yeah, there's listen, there'll probably be more stuff on tomorrow or next week. I don't give a shit. You can actually sit back, to the daft haters and that, sit back and watch me. And when my Paul Sykes film gets started next year, Western Edge Pictures, I'll get you some tickets for the red light at Leicester Square for the red carpet. But fuck you. You're not stopping my path. Big thank you to everyone who subscribes and supports this channel. God bless. Thank you.